Chapter 6. 282 years ago, to the present day in the city of Nairobi, the once enslaved man called Jimmy, who became to be known as the hero, BLOODWYND, sits cross-legged on the floor of his hotel suite just inside the open patio doors. He is in a deep state of meditation when the red jewel known as the blood gem began to pulsate. He felt a call, no, a plea for help. It touched his being deeply in a way that was vaguely familiar. The imploration was almost prayer-like. It translated through the mystical blood gem in restless vibrating waves of raw emotions. Through his entire body, the pleas grew more desperate and more intense, and this continued to spark something familiar in him. It pulled at his conscience, and then it seemed like the blood gem began to beckon him, to move, seek out and answer the call. BLOODWYND stood and expanded his consciousness outward to locate the source. His mind fingered the distance, feeling and drawing ever closer. His heartbeat in sync with the rhythm of the blood gem. The desperation of the plea grew, and the pull tightened. The blood gem and his heart beat stronger, faster, and then it was gone. The pulsing of the blood gem lessened, but the urge to find the source remained. As BLOODWYND's heart steadied, his mind zeroed in on a location. It was there. The United States, Chicago. He said aloud to no one. Along with the location, he was also able to gain a feel for the soul of the individual that sent out the call for help. This will make it easier to locate him once he reaches Chicago. BLOODWYND turned slowly, taking a final farewell glance around his hotel suite, and when his eyes met again with the view beyond the balcony, he was wearing the familiar attire the hero BLOODWYND is recognized by. He stepped out onto the balcony, and with a flash, he was gone. The call came in, as they all do, and as before, Engine 122 responded. Their sirens wailed as they made their way through Southside Chicago traffic in good time. Or so Laquan Stono believed. But as the engine drew closer to the two-story home, he saw clearly that things were quickly getting out of hand. The firefighters leaped into action, hoses were rolled out, and water lines were tapped. Laquan grabbed his axe and with his unit prepared to move in. A neighbor rushed up to Laquan, grabbing him by the arm. Panic and dread painted his face, and his words rang even more dire.
"There are children in there!"
The captain gave the command, and they were off. Laquan and two others, Chptr6 and Miguel, made their way to the rear of the structure because the fires seemed to be concentrated in the front. Laquan led the way. He crashed through the back door after they passed through the kitchen. They immediately came upon a woman and a young boy unconscious on the living room floor. Miguel took the woman in his arms, and Chptr6 scooped up the child. As they headed back out the way they entered, Laquan moved toward the steps. Halfway up, he heard her. The girl's voice was full of terror. "I'm here, princess. Hold on!" shouted Laquan. He made his way up the final steps, only to be face to face with a bully of a fire. He looked from the front to the back, unsure where the girl was. "Where are you, princess?" he called out, and he heard her again. Her strained voice was coming from the front of the house where the flames were fiercest. The floor was already beginning to buckle, and the walls warped outward. The smoke darkened, the hall faster than Laquan expected, but he pushed forward regardless. Just as he began, a massive section of ceiling collapsed in front of him. The girl's scream mixed violently with the sound of the inferno in Laquan's head. He began to pray, beg, and plead to whoever would listen. "Help me save this child, please!" Despite the heat, Laquan could feel his warm, salty tears run unchecked down his face. He chopped at the obstruction in his way over and over. "Help me! Damn it! Help her!" Suddenly, Laquan felt a set of arms wrapping around his midsection. Then he was being pulled backwards. He fought back, but when a second set of hands joined the first, he could only submit. Miguel and Shuai dragged Laquan clear of the still collapsing ceiling, down the crumbling steps, and out the back door. It was over. She was gone. He had failed. To be continued.